people are poorly now. There we go. So, so how has day 2 been? Have you managed to spruce up your profile? Did you find the guide useful that I sent you?
Definitely.
I'll go first because then it can only get better. I actually managed to load up the first of your links and I got about 1 sentence of it read, and that's as far as I got. I've been interrupted and whatnot ever since.
Right, turn your phone off, turn your email off.
Kevin, I can make you look better because I'm still working on day 1. I'm ploughing through the 1,500 connections.
There is good news. I'm sorry to hear that you're worse off than me, but you know, it's gratifying in a perverse kind of way, Emma.
I haven't done
Anyone
anything
who can
else.
make
I've not
Kevin
been
look better.
distracted. I'm just doing this and it's taking forever.
Oh dear. This was supposed to be an easy challenge for you. Oh dear, oh dear. How's everybody else getting? Anybody else want to sort of fess up to having problems or need some help?
A quick look at my profile.
Good.
There's a couple of things on it that were wrong. Some of the contact, some of the emails, not the emails, the websites. You know, you can put 3 on. One of them was right, so at least that prompted me to change those 2. And then when I look at my profile, when I'm editing it, it says there's no connect button. It just says open to.
There, Tracy.
I don't know what other people see.
Right. So what you're seeing when you go to your profile, you will see yourself in edit mode. So you won't see a connect button. You will see options for you to change your profile. Let me show you. Let's see if I can find my profile and show you what I mean.
I don't know what it says. Shows other people. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well, I can show you how to do that. So let's the browser with LinkedIn open. And I'll find somewhere. Here we go. Oh, come on. Zoom is obviously slowing my PC down completely for some reason. Okay. It really is slow. Right, so let me share my screen and you'll see what I mean. So this is me looking at my profile. Let's move that out of the way. And so I've got things like open to, and you're seeing all of that sort of thing. That's because you're in edit mode. You're seeing your dashboard and stuff like that, all sorts of things that other people can't see. If you want to look at what your profile looks like to other people, click edit public profile and URL. Click on that. It should bring it up and show it as other people see it. So there we go. It's saying sign in to connect because it's assuming that I'm no longer signed in, when in reality I am. But so that would normally show a connect button.
Right.
But that's what other people are seeing when they're looking at my profile.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So don't worry. I think I've had this conversation with Ian. I think he messaged me saying, "Whoa, what's going on with my profile?"
All right.
So not to worry, you're not the only one, and you're not the only family that's had that problem either.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all right. I shall stop sharing. Any other challenges or questions, or does anyone want me to review the post they're going to use on Wednesday?
I have to write something first.
I'd like to say is basically when you talked in your task number 2, how to avoid being boring. It's not about the newsletter, is it? It's about your post, because you should.
Well, the post I put, the link I gave you there was a link to my post that then was publicized in the newsletter, and the newsletter was all about not being boring in your post. So you need to read both because you can see different aspects of how to post from the newsletter and from the post itself. So you know, the way I laid out the intro to that post was with a sort of a headline. I think something like "You'll never believe what they did next." ... Then I left a space, and then the next line was they only clicked on the more button, or they only clicked on, I can't remember, ... And that was designed to actually get them to click on the more button and then read the rest of the post. And that's the sort of thing you want to do. You're going to have something that's really impactful that induces people to click through. You don't want to tell them the whole story, because otherwise they might not click through. You don't want to summarize everything that's in the post in the first 2 lines, because they won't bother to click through. You want to induce them to click through, open up that the more section, so they read the rest of the post, and then in my instance, hopefully then they'll click through to the newsletter, and maybe even subscribe to the newsletter if they haven't already subscribed to it. So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to induce people to, and every time somebody does that, every time somebody clicks on the more button, the LinkedIn algorithm says, oh, people are engaging with this post, and it adds another sort of tick in your box, and that gets you further reach, and gets you in the good books of the algorithm. So it's really important that you encourage this sort of behavior. And then I gave you some other posts to help you understand a bit more about your profile, and how to your profile needs to be about your target audience, not about you. It's got to be interesting and useful, as well as relevant to your target audience, and that's what your post needs to be. And you need to think about spacing out the post. Think about the secondary reading part, which I talked about in the newsletter, because people will skim read anything they see. They will skim read first to see whether it's worthwhile reading in detail. If they can't get enough from the skim read, they'll just move on. They'll think it's not worth their while, and they'll move on. That's why when people write posts,
newsletter, only post.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter whether it's a newsletter or a post, Claudine. You've got to make it easy to consume. That's why you know, it's useful to put in the occasional special character to draw people's attentions to a bullet point or something like that. So that's why I encourage you to look through some of my posts to see how I do that sort of thing, to give a secondary reading path in there, so that people don't just see blocks of text. If somebody opens a message and it's just 1 or 2 or maybe 3 big blocks of text with long words and long sentences, they just I haven't got the energy, I'll move on. If you didn't have couldn't go to the time and trouble to make this easy for me to read, I'm not going to go to the time and trouble to read it. And they move on, they go and find the next thing. And that's what you have to really do. So that's why I'm encouraging you to get your profile up and ready, and get a post ready that looks really good like that. And then, because then when people go to your profile, when you start messaging them, and go to them, you'll go to your profile, and they'll actually find stuff that's really useful and easy to consume. Yes, Kevin.
Would they? I think is it the Fleisch-Kincaid word, readability index on Word? Is that worthwhile using before you put text posts up?
It's a useful pointer. It mostly it will give you sensible guidance, but it's not mandatory. Just basically keep the words short, keep the sentences short, and keep the paragraphs short. Make sure there's a bit of white space in between it, and you will get better results.
Can I ask you a couple of questions, Alan?
Of course you can, Larry.
On your LinkedIn page, obviously you go onto home to do your posting, don't you?
Yes.
You go onto the home button. Now, when you do the post, which group of LinkedIn connections does it go to? Does it go to your own connections only?
Initially, when you join LinkedIn, it will probably only go to a few of your connections. It won't ever go to every connection. It will go to those connections you are most engaged with. So people that you've looked at their content, people that have looked at your content in the past, and in particular, people that you might have been messaging in the last weeks and months. So there are sort of, and nobody knows exactly how, because it's hidden in the algorithm and they never publish the details of how the algorithm works. But the more you post, the more you engage, the more people it will reach. And the reason I was suggesting yesterday that we'll do this sort of posting challenge, and I put in the email we'll do it from 1 o'clock tomorrow. If you're around, the spreadsheet's up there. Just add your name, first name, second name, and then the link to your post in there. And then everybody else can go in and click on the link and keep a comment and like your posts. The more people that do that within the first hour of you posting, the more reach your post will get. And that's why I say, let's all do it at 1 o'clock and see if we can get everybody a little bit of a boost. With my mastermind group, which several people here are involved in, we have these posting challenges twice a month on the 2nd and 4th Wednesdays, and we usually do it from 11 till 1, and we all post at 11 o'clock, and then we all go and frantically comment on everybody's posts and like them, and then go back and reply to the comments on our own posts. And it usually gives you somewhere between double and 5 times the reach that a post that you do on your own on a normal day gets. So it depends on how frequently you post and how well engaged your audience is in the first place, but you will see an uplift. So the objective is we'll get you all a bit of an uplift on Wednesday, tomorrow, so that when you then start messaging your connection that you want to engage with and get to buy from you, if they go and look at your profile, they'll see a recent post, i.e. Wednesday's post, that's got a lot of engagement, and they'll see your profile, which actually speaks directly to them in terms of what you're looking to do for them. So that's the objective, is to get you looking really good before you actually point anyone towards your profile by engaging with them with a message.
That brings me on to the second question. You mentioned about the post. Is it obviously, if it's just a short sentence, you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to put your details in or anything. It just comes up automatically with it.
Again, what I would suggest, Larry, is you go onto my profile and look at some of the posts that I've put out, or go onto some of your connections and look at the posts they're putting out. Yeah, for you, you need to post something about how nice it is for the government to be giving money away. That's why I said for you, or what I'd do is I'd actually have a picture of me in a Santa's outfit saying, yippee, it's Christmas every day. And that would be my image. And then I'd have a post that explains what it means. Why yippee, it's Christmas every day. Because I can actually help you. If you've got any form of innovation in your business and you're a limited company, I can help you get tax credits free of charge at no cost to you. Oh, and by the way, we'll do most of the work and take all the complications away. There's your post. It's as simple as that, and it really talks directly to the audience that you want to speak to.
Thank you. That's great.
Listen to the recording. I'll put the recording. If you haven't found my YouTube channel by clicking through to the videos, if you search for Linked Business on the YouTube, or go to the one of the videos I've already put up, and go to the YouTube channel behind that, and I'll try and put this recording up shortly, so that as soon as it finishes recording and processing, I'll put it up so that the recording of this session is there for you. You don't have to wait for tomorrow morning to get the email. Okay. So that's what you need to do so that we can get that post out tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And then, so I suggest you need to write your post tonight and be working on your profile, because then tomorrow you've got another little task to do. Because tomorrow is going to be all about what is the message you are going to send to those 10 to 50 connections you've identified. Now, it's going to be a very simple message. It's going to be a 3-line message. Hi, Fred. Are you still interested in whatever it is you do? Regards, your name. That's the simplest. That's how simple the message is. And please, please, please don't add more into the message, because if you add more in, you will complicate things and you will destroy its effectiveness. It's a 3-line message, really, really simple. But part 2 of what you need to do tomorrow is think about how you handle the responses. Because if somebody says, oh yes, I am still interested in R&D credits, what's your next step? Now for you, Larry, I think that's probably relatively simple. Here's my diary, book a meeting with me. Or if you haven't got an online diary, when are you free to have a conversation? Yeah, that's as simple as that. Kevin, Claudine, depends on whether you're going for, you would have a different message that you're going to send to people, depending on whether they're looking to buy your services or whether they want to become a partner and become get a second income. So your message, Claudine, your message might be, are you still interested in saving money on your utility bills? The other message you might use is, are you still looking to create a side hustle or a second income or something like that? Depends on what you want to use as the message. And then your response when they answer to you will be different, or certainly the meeting that you have will be different, but it might simply be, great, book a meeting with me here, or when are you free for a meeting? You got to think that through. For Ian and Tracy, you're sending out, and I presume you're trying to reconnect with people that have been to your networking groups in the past but haven't come back for a while. Your message might be something along the lines of, are you still interested in building your business through networking? And when they come back and say yes, here's it might be a case of, right, here's a link and a booking, a free booking discount code to come and join us again for another freebie or something like that. Whatever you decide it is. Or it might be, some of you might think, well, actually, what I'm going to do is I want to get people to a webinar, because then a webinar, I can tell them a bit more about what I do and give them some value and then induce them to buy. So it might be, great, I've got a webinar that's designed to help you do just that. Here's a link, book on for free, and I'll see you on the webinar. That might be your next stage. You've got to think that through. You want to think through 1, 2, maybe even 3 steps, depending on what you're going to do. If it's simply book a meeting so that at the meeting, you're then going to have the conversation about converting them into a customer, that's great. It depends also on how detailed the conversations you've had in the past are with them. But you really need to think that through, because the last thing you want to be doing is on Thursday morning, you send out a message saying, are you still interested in buying from me? And they come back and say, oh yeah, I'm still interested. You don't want to be sitting there scratching your head thinking, oh no, what do I do now? Because you want to strike while the iron's hot. Yeah, you need to be responding to those messages as fast as you possibly can to get them while they're still keen and interested. Don't leave it for a day. Don't even leave it for an hour if you can. Respond straight away. And be personal. Don't make it a sort of like don't make it feel like it's a generic response. So that make sure that they realize it's not an automated system doing this.
Tomorrow, are we posting at 11 or 1 o'clock?
No, 1 o'clock.
Because
1 o'clock.
So does it mean we will be working from 1 to 12 to 2:30?
Something like that. Depends on how quickly you can get through the posts. It's probably not going to be as intense as the 15 in 2 for the mastermind, but who knows? Depends on how many people come back and say yes, they want to take part or put their details into the spreadsheet. I've made it a bit more sort of open and less structured than the normal 15 in 2, just to try and give you a bit of a boost, but without putting you on the spot and saying, oh, you've got to do this. This is just an added bonus that will help you if you do it, and it will get you more traction. Any other questions? And anybody want me to review a post or look at a post? Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to look at things very much tomorrow morning because I've got to drive up to Harrow tomorrow morning for a meeting with a prospect. So I will be on the
Alan,
road.
can I ask you, have you had a look at everyone in here's profile to see what your thoughts are, if they're up to speed or not?
I'll be honest, I haven't.
Is there any chance you could do that and say your professional opinion of what could be wrong or what could need changing or tweaking here or there?
I will try and go through everyone on the call. I will try and go through your profiles and give you a 30-second overview of where I think you might need to make some changes.
I did actually tidy mine up just a little bit a few days ago, which you may or may not have got a notification for.
No, I haven't seen that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I did tidy it up, but it's a bit more up to date.
I will try and have a quick. I'll try and have a quick review of your profiles later today, and I might just send you a quick video message on LinkedIn to give you my thoughts.
Yeah, Kevin combed his hair. We got on like a house on fire, don't we, Kevin?
Yeah.
Any other questions I can answer for anyone? Anybody need any extra help?
I think I just need to connect with John and Emma just to make things a little bit easier, or the other way around.
Yep.
So I'll do my best to find you.
Cool.
Okay, good. Right, in which case I will send you tomorrow's email first thing in the morning as usual. I will get the recording from this up onto the system, up onto the YouTube channel. I might just send you a quick email with the recording link as well, just to make it easier for you. And so if you need me to look at anything specific, you want any feedback on a post or anything specific, you need to get it to me tonight, because tomorrow morning I'm going to be driving up to Harrow and then rushing back to help with the posting at 1 o'clock. So I will see you all tomorrow at 4 if I don't see you before.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alan.
Take care, everyone. Oh, John's put his link in the chat. If everyone wants, anyone wants to click on, just click on the link from the chat before I close everything down, and that'll open it up in a browser for you.
You asking me a question?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Right, you are. I'm gonna end the meeting. So see you all tomorrow. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.